Okay, John here, drinking a cup of coffee, and I'm going to review some of these hands for you, mate, because if I can get my computer in the right spot, um, there's some things I think you're doing just wrong, and so I'll tell you what I think, and then you can take it on board or throw it away at your choice, your game. So I'm just showing you some stuff that I think are wrong. Okay, now firstly, I've filtered this for 10-20 blinds in heads up games, so that's the only hands that'll be showing up in the replay are the 10-20s, and I'm only going to be doing the ones that lose, where you lost a big stack. I don't care if you min-raised and folded or something, but where you lost your entire stack, or you won an entire stack, if that happens to be the case, they're the ones I'm looking at, and we'll see what we think. Anyway, we'll just go ahead on this one. Now here you've got King 10 and you're out of position, and we'll see what he does. Alright, now he's min raised, and I would just flat that. I think that's fine. Now when you flop second pair and a gut shot, it's, well, it could be a go ahead hand and it could be a fold hand. You certainly don't have the nuts, and it'd be very easy for your opponent to have ace king, ace jack, ace queen, ace 10, all sorts of things there. As it turns out, he's got ace 3, and you both check, so we can see that he's trapping, and now he's just betting 2/3 pot, and you're very raised. Now when he shoves, you really should be suspecting that you beat, I would think. Anyway, you turn around and just call that shove, and your outs, your outs are just a queen. So you got 4 outs. So you're because a 10's not an out, and I suppose technically a king's an out, so there's 2, so you might have 5 outs, but that's it. And what's that? 10% chance of winning, and you're writing off what, 2/3 of your opening stack for a 10% chance of winning. I don't think that's very good. Anyway, as we know, it's not a good move, I don't think. Anyway, so we'll go to the next hand. What's going on here? Come on, open up, buddy. This computer's a bit slow, I think. Alright, so that was one game. Now we'll go to the very next game. And see what the bad hand is. Alright, first hand here at the top. We'll replay. See what you think. Now, min raise, and it's not a go broke hand, a jack queen, not in the fit, certainly not for 24 big blinds. He's 3 bets you to 100. You might flat, you shouldn't shove, so you flat. And the trouble with flatting with jack queen is you what's called dominated, and here you flop top pair with your jack queen, and you're dominated by ace queen, and ace queen's never ever going to fold, and you're probably never going to fold, and then now you re-raise. This is like the last hand where you re-raise with second pair, but I mean here we've got top pair, but you're out kicked, and obviously we're just looking at it and we can say, yeah, well, we're out kicked, we know. I just think a better way to play it would be min raise fold pre-flop, because if you think he's a 3-betting too much, I mean, it says here he 3-bets 63%, but it's only over 19 hands, so it's pretty high, I've got to admit. Still, I don't know whether I like going broke on it, but anyway, you apparently do, so there you go, and you did. So just remember, next time someone 3-bets you can't just assume that because you've got Jack Queen that they've got Jack shit, you know. That's my opinion. Try the next game. This is the pain in the arse getting this to work. You lose those two, there we go, the next one. Just Camtasia's taking photos all the time. It sort of upsets things a bit. Now look, there's no massive loss here in this game, so we've got nothing to review there. I'll just put it on pause. Alright, so I find if I pause it and then move up, it's a little bit quicker and probably doesn't waste as much space. Alright, so we've got two big hands here, the loss of 480 and then the loss of 240. So, replay that one. Okay, now you've got ace queen. It's a no fold hand no matter what, as far as I'm concerned, even for 24 big blinds. So you min raise, you get 3-bet and you call, and that's perfect. I have no problem there. Good. Alright, now we're on that next hand, and this one you've got Jack 4. You've got biggest chip stack, and I don't know what happens here. So you've flattered, you've hit bottom pair, and he bets 40 because he's got the absolute nuts. You call. Alright, so you've made 2 pair. Okay, well, yeah, I don't think you can fold there, so I don't mind that at all. Just bad luck. Alright, this is the next game, and we've got Queen 10. It's not a go broke pre-flop hand, so we'll just wait and see what you do there. And yeah, you've raised all in. Look, 15 big blinds, 3-bet shove for Queen 10. I strongly disagree. I would just flat and hope to make a pair or something. We'll see what flop brings down, see if you get lucky or not, but I think it's just an absolute mistake. Yeah, okay. So, there you go. Yeah, I think it's a bit loose, but I think just flat it, have a look, check it down, and if you don't hit, just fold out of it. There's no point to try and bluff it. You're not beating anything much. Queen high is usually a good check down hand, and if you can check it to the river, you've got showdown potential with the queen. In this case, you would have lost because of the ace king, but pretty easy fold on any of those streets as far as I'm concerned. Alright, this is the next game you lost, and ace jack pre-flop, 14.5 big blinds. You can open shove or not min raise, but raise a bit bigger, like raise to 60 or something pre-flop, and then call any shove. We'll see what happens. You min raise, he shoves over, you flat call, and yep, that's fine. Perfect. The fact that you lost is irrelevant. Alright, this This hand's a bit different. Now, pocket fours for 24 big blinds. I know there's probably 100 players will tell you to open shove it. If you don't open shove it, then you just flat and fold when you don't make your set. I think that's about the only thing I can say, is either flat fold and make a set if you don't make a set, or open shove it pre. To do anything else is a mistake. Now, min raising pre is a mistake. You've got there's no hand you can play on the flop except another 4. So you don't min raise it. You just push all in with it, or you min raise and then you're looking for a set and then you fold. So we'll just see what you've got. And you certainly don't make a set. And I know it's technically a dry flop, but you know your opponent's going to continue with an 8, and he's also going to continue with a 5, or a pair of 6s, pair of 7s, pair of 9s, pair of 10s, etc. So it's pretty rare he's going to continue with pocket 2s or pocket 3s on that flop. So when you bet and he calls, you really should be thinking, why is he just flatting? He's not afraid of anything. He's certainly not afraid of you beating him. And, you know, you shouldn't be betting again now. You should just check it down and fold if you get raised. And that bet's a mistake. Now he re-raises you, you should be more than willing to fold. And you don't. And now there's another overcard yet again. So ace queen, ace jack, king queen, king jack, 10 queen, 10 jack all beat you, notwithstanding the 5 that's already made a pair bigger than your 4s. So I think you wasted chips there that you didn't need to waste. Anyway, that's the end of that one. Alright, this is another game. Now here you've got king 4 suited, 20 big blinds. It's not a go broke hand. If you make 2 pair or you make a flush draw on the flop, I'd say yes, you can potentially go broke, but anything less than that is not a go broke hand. Now you min raise, that's fine. He flats. You got no pair, no draw. You could see bet once, and you check, so you're telling him you've got no pair, no draw, so he knows not to fold his 9, which he wasn't going to fold anyway. Now you've hit, and he bets 20, trying to entice you to go over the top. You take the bait beautifully, and you're dead as a maggot. I think there's no need to take the bait there, and you should have just flat called his 20 and then wait and see what he did on the river, and maybe called a small bet or maybe folded. You should never ever assume top pair and no kicker is the best hand. It's certainly not, and particularly if someone's betting on the river, it's not the best hand. Alright. Okay, you got 2 big hands you lost in this one. Let's have a look. Ace 9, 22 big blinds. There's a lot of people that say go broke pre-flop on this for 22 big blinds, so I'm not going to argue. Min raise, again, I think, he's 3-bet over the top anyway. I think it's a call, and although his 3-bet's 18%, it's not particularly big. Let's just see if I can find me thing here, wherever it is. Just have a look at 18%. there now. Right. Okay, so that's not a bad range. And what have we got in this hand? I've lost it. Maybe. We've got ace 9, so just see how we go against it. Ace 9 off. And we're 45% against his range. Yeah, well anyway, look, they say you should call. But, against his 3-bet range, you're 45%, so I would think you could probably fold that. But anyway, I know that there's probably not a heads-up poker player that would fold it, except for perhaps me. I might fold it. Anyway, so there you go. I don't think there's any real need to fold, but it's just hand versus hand. It was unlucky, but against his range at 18% 3-bet, you've come up against the bottom of his range. Most of his range is beating you, and or a good deal of it. So just bear that in mind in future. Okay. All right. Now this is the next hand in the same game where you've got pocket threes. You've got the chip lead. I still think it's a 3-bet shove no matter what, and we'll see what happens. And you do perfect, so I have no complaints about the way you play that. I think it's fine. And if he wins, just tough titties. You could argue the point that you're probably not doing that well. I mean, if we open up Poker Stove again versus his range, and we know his range, so we can clear, select pocket threes, and evaluate. And again, we're 45% roughly, so we've taken sort of the worst of it, both hands versus his range. Now, to get a better range than what he's got there, we've got to go to about pocket fives, I think. Let's just have a look. Oops. We go to pocket fives. Might be sixes. I know, a bit close there somewhere. And no, fives aren't hit. So his 3-bet range is pretty good, at 18%. Puts a lot of our would-be all-in hands to shame. And we're still doing no good versus his range. So think about that. Next time you got someone with an 18% 3-bet range, you might want to consider a better hand to call or to shove or whatever. Here we go, 8s, and we're 50%. So you got 18 big blinds, and you know his 3-bet range is tight, but his 3-bet range and his calling range are the same, and like his calling your 3-bet range are the same. So, and he doesn't fold to 3-bets much. He's folded to 3-bets only 33%, so he isn't folding much. So you might, in future, you don't have to go all in, is what I'm probably trying to say. We could go back here, and he min raises, and you call, and that's all you need to do. You don't have to shove, and just take a flop. You've got 18 big blinds. There's no need to go broke. Now you can, again, 99% of poker players will tell you should always go broke with pocket threes there. I beg to differ, but you'll have to figure that out for yourself. Alright, well, this is a simple, just bad luck. As you can see, you've got sixes, he's got kings, and I don't blame you for going broke pre-flop on this. Certainly not an issue for me, and yeah, that's fine, and just bad luck. Alright, now I got no idea what's going on here. It says someone's lost a heap of chips, so Let's find out why. You've got 4-8. It's a shit hand. You could, unless he limps to you, you should fold it. He's min raised. And you 3-betting to 90. He steals 67%. It's not a lot. You need king 7 to 3-bet here correctly. 4-8's just not in it. I don't know where you got 4-8 from for a 3-bet. Anyway, he flats it. So now you're in a pot. Let's see if you can fold. Alright, you flop bottom pair. That's a disaster. Very good chance he's got you beat there. And, I just... I think you should check fold there, not be continuation betting. You're trying to get to see a cheap river. That's what you should be trying to do. You finally do check again, and he bets, and you call, obviously, and you miss there, and now what? You check, and he shoves. No, he bets 120. He's got you by the balls, and you should be able to see that. You know better than that. Hands he can have. Ace, obviously, any ace X. He could have slow played a weak ace, ace 4. He could certainly have a queen jack, weak jack. He could have 10-8, which he's got the nuts on the turn. He could have, he's got a pair, or he's not continuing. He's certainly not betting the river for 120 without a pair. I don't think he's particularly strong, but I think he's strong enough to beat you. And you fold rightly, but I think you wasted a lot of chips before you got to fold. Alright, this hand, ace 8, 24 big blinds, according to all my coaches, has been a shove or a call a shove. I don't normally call a shove. I will open shove. Sometimes I will call a shove. It's I mess it around a bit. Sometimes I can fold. So anyway, we'll see what happens here. He min raised. You shove over. That's fine. And he's not folding ace 9. Okay. Good. Alright, this is another game. And now this guy who only got 9 hands on, his 3-bet 50%. So that makes his 3-bets pretty loose over 9 hands. Very loose, in fact. He's 3-bet every time we've raised. Anyway, we've got ace 10. I seriously doubt we're folding pre-flop, no matter what he does, particularly with his 3-bet at this stage. So we'll see why happens here. Oh, okay. So we've got top pair. Top kicker. You should bet very minimum 2/3 pot, say 60. Quite often on drawy boards like that, so you got a flush draw and you got a straight draw. So it's not ultra drawy, but I mean there's 2 draws there, and 8, 9, Queen 9, Jack 9, 7, 8, well 7 6s he's obviously got. All those hands are in there and around there, and they're all calling hands for a min raise. So, and also he could certainly have a flush draw there. But if he has a flush draw, I would expect him to push all in when you c-bet. So we c-bet, and there's our c-bet. And he doesn't push, he just, correction. Yep, he pushes all in. Now, he's repping the flush. Admittedly, he's got worst hand. You've got top pair, top kicker, and you've decided to go broke with it. And I think you just get unlucky. And I mean, I'd be putting him on a draw, on a flush draw here, and yeah, I wouldn't fold either. And neither should you, I don't think. And he gets lucky with the second 7. And the flush comes in. So the flush draw would have won. But I mean, either way, I don't get anything wrong there. I think it's fine. Great play. Alright, pocket 4s, and I can see you're going to get it all in, and he's got ace queen, and you know, I think that's just a bit. It's just you're actually a favourite against ace queen, so I can't see anything wrong there. And you open shove, well, you 3-bet shove, and then equals calls, and then the rest is history. The result's irrelevant. Now this is another irrelevant hand. You obviously, I presume you get it all in pre-flop, in which case the results are irrelevant. Raise, you shove, yep, that's fine. Yep, no problems there. Alright, now here you got ace 10. Again, it's pretty much a no-fold pre-flop hand, and we've still only got 9 hands on this guy for a 50% 3-bet, so not a lot of hands. Must have been a game just after one of the ones we played before. Min race, you get flattered. Oh, what have I done? Gone back to the same hand. Idiot. How do I do that? Come on. Yeah, oh, I'm sorry, I'm just replaying the same hand. I don't know what happened there. Major fuck up. Stop. Okay, now this hand here, 25 big blinds with ace 2 is not an all-in hand, certainly not pre-flop. Let's just see how we go and see what the hand is about. I don't know whether I've got some of these games duplicated because of all the stuff you sent me to import. But if I have, I apologise. Anyway, yeah, you've gone all in pre-flop. You've 3-bet all in with ace 2. Really, really bad play. No need for it. Just flat and fold when you don't hit. Because even if you hit the ace, what are you beating? You're not beating ace 4 or better. You know, so just no point. And I disagree with going all in there. Totally. Alright, here's controversial hands here, 9-8, 25 big blinds. I disagree, it's certainly not a shove pre, and it's not a call shove pre. I don't care how loose your opponent is, not for 25 big blinds. So we'll see what happens. Opponent limps. You check. Alright, so you've flopped the top pair, and you got 7, 8, 9. The 6 is missing to make a straight. Of course, your opponent's flopped it straight. So you really need the 6 of diamonds, or any diamond, in fact. And I could see you going broke here, and I would actually, if he c-bets, I would 3-bet all in. Wouldn't even think twice about it. So you've donked into him. Why would you do that? When you donk into someone with a big hand like you've got, all you're doing is stopping them potentially from c-betting. And a lot of players, like 9 times out of 10, unless he had 9-6 obviously, which he's not folding in a fit, but if he's got any other hand, he'll c-bet fold when you 3-bet. So you should check, and when he bets, you check raise all in, and that's the correct way to play it. Betting 28 there, all you do is cost yourself money, because he's going to bet a minimum of 20, and if he's got you beat, he's going to put you all in anyway. So you know, you should check, let him bet, and he'll bet at least 20. He might bet 40, he might bet 100, he might go all in, who knows. But you're not folding in a fit no matter what he does. So you should check and then raise him. And so he just calls you because he's got the nuts, which is the perfect thing to do. But by just flatting, he actually lets you try and get your straight flush, or your flush at any rate. And now there's so many other draws. Obviously, if a 9, no, not so much a 9, if an 8 comes, you've got the nuts. If a 5 comes, you've got the nuts. So there's no way you can fold here, but you should be putting the chips in, and lots of them. and this bet is just ridiculous. You should be pushing all in and not letting him get there cheap, and he should be doing the same. He should have been stopping you from getting there cheap. And anyway, he calls that, and then the river ace, and now is time to consider giving up, because you've got nothing, and you have to know he's got something big, because of the way he's played it. He's played tight, close to the hand, close to the chest hand, sort of just flatting, not pushing, not trying to push out of the pot. He's trying to keep you in the pot. So we'll just see what his river bet is. You check, and he bets 100, and that's just value. You got to know that's value, and if you're really good on the day and you're thinking straight, you could probably fold there. If you're not thinking properly, you'd probably call there, and that would be the very worst you'd do, and you do call, in fact, and then get shown that you were beat right from the flop. So I still think it was a shove on the flop with your hand and the draws that you had, and I think the way you played it was wrong, although as it turned out you actually saved a few chips. That's the end of the hand. Alright, here's the next one. 10-9, 18 big blinds. Again, it's not an all-in pre-flop hand, not in my opinion, not for 18 big blinds. So let's just see what happens here. He limps, yep, you can check it, it's fine. You flop 2 pair. Now you should be afraid of a flush draw, and you should realise if he's got a flush draw, he'll probably call an all-in. So you should be trying to get value out of this hand. Again, you should check first, and you do, and he checks behind. Right, that really sucks when he checks behind. Now I would overbet the pot. I would bet 80, 100, something like that. Make it worthwhile. If he's got a queen or a jack, which in this case he's got a jack, so he's got that draw, he'll probably call, and you should be aware of that. And 28, he's calling with absolutely anything, doesn't matter. He'll call with a 3 for 28. So he calls, and now he's river to straight. So it wasn't the nut straight, but it was the second best straight. And your 2 pair haven't improved, and now you're going to lose, what, 300 chips out of your stack, I'll bet. 67, and he shoves on you. And that should set off warning bells. When they shove on you, 9 times out of 10, it's not the bluff shove, it's the nut shove. And, admittedly, there are bluff shoves from time to time, but this is a nut shove, and I doubt you can get away from it, but we'll see. No, you can't get away from it. And you just blew off half your stack for no reason. You should have bet the flop big because of the draw potential, and anytime there's flush draw and a straight draw, overbet the pot on the flop. Don't, particularly with 2 pair, don't slow play it, don't half pot bet it, don't quarter pot bet it, don't 2/3 pot bet it. Bet it pot times 1.5, top pot times 2. Make it a big bet. Make it that if he wants to come along, that you've got terrific odds to win, because you will win this hand so often. And he had 8 out, so he's winning 25% of the time. The rest of the time it's yours. And so 75% of the time you're going to take his entire stack if he calls. So get the money in early. Don't wait till the river to put the money in, because at the river, if he's putting the money in on the river, you've lost, not him. Alright, next one. Alright, I'm not even going to go through this hand. Obviously you know that Ace Queen's just a non-folding hand, even for 24 big blinds, so nothing much to say there. This is another scenario that is just purely let's get it in pre-flop or on the flop pretty much all the time. The only thing I would say is if you miss the flop and he shoves, you should probably fold. I'll just have a look and see what happens. He's raised. Yeah, you shove in. That's fine. Yeah, that's perfect. No problems there. Okay, next one. Alright, we're down to 12 big blinds, and your ace-5 you can just shove over. I don't have a problem with it. There's not a lot else you can do except fold, and you don't want to do that. So when he open shoves, it's a pretty easy call, and if you lose, that's just bad luck. And you do, so bad luck. Alright, I think this will be the last couple of hands I review. They're just in the same game, and I'm not sure whether you actually win this game or not. I just thought I'd try a bit different, because this was a winning hand for some reason. Again, we're just 13 big blinds. His steal is 33%, and his call steal is 75. Now, and look, he 3-bets 33. So this guy never ever folds. He's either 3-betting or he's calling. So good guy to have for an opponent. You should be able to take a heap of money off a guy like this. Anyway, let's just see what happens with the hand and see how it runs. Alright. So, why would you limp? Because he never folds. Is that why? Oh no, he didn't limp. No, he min-raised. Sorry. Just dumb. Okay. He min-raised, he calls. And you flop second pair, and if he checks to you, you should see bet. Now he's bet 100. Alright. You're folding. What do you beat? You don't beat an 8. You currently beat his hand, but he's got the draw, so he's got the best hand in the... You know, he's pretty much got the best hand. He's got 2 draws. He's got flush and straight draws. And all you got's a pair. And I think it's a fold to 100 bet. This is what I was saying you should do before. When you had that top pair and or the big draw, you should bet the 100. But you have nothing, and you got second pair, so you should fold. And look, you 3-bet him. You're on tilt. Anyway, he calls. He's not folding ever. You get 10, and you get an 8, and you river him. But the fact that you won is irrelevant. I think you played it wrong. Alright, now, there's another hand in this one I want to watch to see if I can play through. I don't know whether this is the one or not, but 2 pair, and your bet's too small, bet bigger, and bet bigger, and shove, beautiful, and he calls, and he rivers you. Oh dear, poker sucks. Easy fold to his shove. Yep, good. Five nine, I'd just fold to anything, any raise there at all. Good. Three four, I wouldn't even open, but you do. And he calls. You know he's calling you. Why would you open with a hand that you know he's calling you? And he got such a shit hand. He calls 75%. Can you get a 6 on the river? No. Just fold it. Doesn't even fold to c-bet. It's fold to c-bet 0. Admittedly it's 7 hands, but even so, it's still 0. What's going on here? It should be running. Well, that might be the last hand. Yeah, might be the last hand because I've only got the 10-20 blind sorted for it. Anyway, I think you need to just think about your hands a bit more and fold, and don't raise with stupid hands like 4-3 when someone's calling you or 3-betting you and he's got 100% range back at you. There's no point. Just wait for a better hand and take it. I think a lot of your shoves are good. I think the above 20 big blinds, I think I could fold 2s and 3s these days. I think I tried to tell you that the other day, to try and fold your 2s at least above 15 big blinds, but you can fold 3s as well above 20. So if you folded 2s above 15 and 3s above 20, you'd probably pick up an extra 2 games per 100 without too much trouble, maybe even more. And at 50% in the money, 2 games per 100 would put you in profit. So I could see where you could pick up 5 or 6 games per 100, and that would put you in a massive profit. Anyway, I'm going to post this on YouTube and send you a link, and you can watch it. And hope you enjoy it. Yeah, and let's hope we can turn these next 4,800 games into some money. We'll see ya. Cheers.